There's someone you know, maybe a coworker, maybe a family member, maybe someone you've been friends with for years, and you've never really heard them, not because they're shy, not because they're strange, but because they just don't feel the need to fill the air with words. We're going to talk about why some people go quiet, but not in the way you'd expect. Because this isn't about shyness. It isn't about anxiety, and it definitely isn't about having nothing to say. It's actually about something much more interesting than that. Picture a dinner table. 6, maybe 7 people. Everyone's talking at once. Stories overlapping, laughter cutting through half-finished sentences. Someone already on their third opinion about something nobody asked about. And then there's that person, sitting right there, smiling at the right moments, catching details, quietly watching the whole thing like they're reading a book everyone else forgot they were in. Someone eventually turns to them and says, "You're so quiet." Not a question, not real curiosity, just a low-key accusation, dressed up as an observation. Here's what nobody at that table thinks to ask. What if they're the only one actually paying attention? We've built an entire culture around loudness. The loudest person in a meeting gets called confident. The loudest person at a party gets called charismatic. The loudest voice online gets called influential. So somewhere along the way, we started treating silence like a symptom, like something that needed to be fixed, or explained, or coaxed out of someone. But here's the quiet truth. The people who say the least are often carrying the most. Jung talked about introversion, but he never said it meant shy. He said it meant your energy moves inward. Introverts don't think out loud. They process first, privately, completely, and then they speak. Psychologist Dr. Elaine Aron studied what she called the highly sensitive person. Some people's nervous systems are just wired to take in more emotional data, more sensory detail, more of what's happening beneath the surface. So imagine you're already picking up on everyone's mood, reading body language, noticing the tension between two people across the table, feeling the emotional weight of the room, and someone expects you to also be chatty and loud on top of all that. But here's where it gets really interesting, and a little painful. Because for a lot of quiet people, it's not just wiring, it's history. At some point, many quiet people tried. They spoke up, they shared something real, and it didn't go well. Maybe they were dismissed mid-sentence. Maybe something they said in honesty got used against them later. Maybe they just watched enough to understand that certain rooms don't reward honesty, they punish it. Silence, for these people, isn't emptiness. It's a boundary that nobody taught them to build with words. So they built it with quiet instead. And that quiet, it carries a grief most people never notice. This low, steady ache of sitting in a room full of people and wondering, if I disappeared from this conversation right now, would anyone even notice? Here's the biggest misconception. People assume that quiet means passive. Like still water. Nothing moving, nothing happening. But still water runs deep. They're running full internal commentary. They noticed the shift in your tone 4 minutes ago. They remembered the offhand thing you mentioned in passing 2 weeks ago. They clocked the moment the energy in the room changed and quietly adjusted while everyone else kept talking. Their silence isn't distance. It's intimacy. They haven't decided it's safe to offer you yet. If you're the quiet one, your silence isn't something to fix, but it can become a wall you hide behind so long you forget you built it. And if someone in your life is the quiet one, ask them a real question. Then wait. Actually wait. Don't fill the silence. Let them come to you. We decided, somewhere collectively, that confidence is loud. But I think real confidence, the quiet, unshakable kind, looks like someone who doesn't need the room to validate them. The quietest person you know isn't absent from life. They're just choosing it more carefully than most. So next time someone goes quiet around you, don't fill it. Don't label it. Don't try to fix it. Just stay. Be curious. Because what lives inside a quiet person is rarely nothing. It's usually everything, just waiting for the right person to stop talking long enough to hear it. If that landed somewhere in you today, you probably already know why.